M-I-C-H-E-L-L-E.
Got it. Hi. Everything okay? Mm-hmm. Good, good.
Well, Bill, you were telling me how this was founded. You were very touched by something that you saw on television. If you could talk about that, about 3 years ago.
Yes, about 3 years ago, there was a young boy called Gregorio Perez Ricardo. Gregorio was 15 years old, and he made it across the Straits of Florida just to die in the hands of the Coast Guard. And I don't know why that day that moved me to thought that somebody needed to do something. And I'm got in touch with Basulto. Basulto had a small airplane, Cessna 172.
And Basulto is just one of the
Basulto is a
pilots?
co-founder.
He's a co-founder.
We're both co-founders.
Basulto, okay.
And we started looking around with the airplane, searching and to see if it could be done. And we did it, and we found the first raft after 2 or 3 weeks. And then we knew that it could be done. So we called a press conference and asked the support of the community. And since then, we have received full support of the community. And we started with 1 aircraft. Now we have 5 for our own.
Let's talk about some of these. I mean, this isn't staged for us. This is real stuff. Let's talk about what some of these rafts are.
You can see that the way they're putting this raft together, with anything they can find. They buy the inner tubes, they steal the inner tubes, you know, they do anything.
Let's walk up and touch some. Show me some of the, look at the nails.
And, they use anything, they use straps and they use fabric, they use nails, rope, they use a lot of rope, and they put something like you see on this one here, they put something on the bottom so they could put their feet in there. And but the most important, this is one of the classic raft that we have. It's made very, very rustic, you know, I mean, with anything they could find. And
wow, look at it.
And they have this one here, I believe it was found empty. This raft was found empty, and so we presume that the people in there drowned, you know. And every time we see a raft like that, we understand, we know that the people drowned, because the Coast Guard, generally, they sink the raft or they set it on fire, one or the other. So they put a sticker on it.
Were those sneakers found on board like
everything like that, it was found like that, and by Alberto Sanchez, who is the one who collects those raft.
He did. Yeah, he's over.
Yeah, you can try it.
So you mean you can actually talk to the raft?
That's an idea.
Try it.
We drop radios. We drop radios mostly.
Yeah, but the thing is, this way you can just circle and get the message.
Is it generally frightening for them when they see you, or do they know why you're there?
No, they're
Have
happy.
Heard about you?
They're happy to see it. They haven't seen it. The only time that we've seen fear is when they didn't know who we are. Like my airplane's red and white and blue. For me, that's patriotic. It's also the colors of Cubana. So I put the red crosses on it, and ever since then, people have been smiling to see me.
Look, their faces are teeny tiny.
Yeah, it's the expression on their face, I think, will say it all. You'll see that. You'll definitely see that today. There's very few things you can do volunteer-wise where you can see immediately what you've done. You can donate money to a cause, and you know that it's going to work down the road, or you can put a lot of time into this and go flying 4 hours later. If you're fortunate enough to find one out there, you're going to get immediate gratification, because just knowing that you saved someone's life, that's all we're here for, is really knowing that we saved someone's life. And then seeing an expression on their face, that just makes, it sends a volt of electricity through the plane, I think.
Just
it's like a big charge.
A moment of discovery, and then you work. And actually, it's a big teamwork thing, because we can find them, and we'll work to support the aircraft that finds them and keep them in sight and all that. But then the whole Coast Guard team has to go into action. Those guys have been doing so much good work. It's incredible.
I saw a report last.
No, we haven't. So, with that in mind, they might be lost. I'm going to start thinking of rearranging the cruise.
I'll just take extra water and be happy.
Arnie and I weighed ourselves before the mission on Tuesday. We came back, we lost 4 pounds each. I think he lost like 3.
Sweating. Because you don't drink water and sweat.
Yeah. It's a great weight program now. We should, you might.
To,
That plane has a purpose.
which airplane?
35. November 13 Bravo Romeo, squawking 1204. Okay, I think I've talked to the two people that are taking their place from the press. Okay, and that one of them is you, Emilio. You're going to be scooting over to that airplane. Okay. You'll be with Steve. Okay. That's the red and white plane. November 939 Juliet Hotel. Mission 1438. The pilot of 9 Juliet Hotel is Guillermo.
Hi.
Just call him the Che. Just say, hey, Che. Okay, 6777 Bois. Is that your last?
Yeah.
Okay. And Uber. Okay, they're representing Hungarian TV.
I want to mention something. In 1961, when we were in Guatemala, Billy and I training for overthrowing the Castro government. At that time, that mission was sponsored by the United States government in accordance to their laws of neutrality. The gentlemen that were training us were from Hungary. And we were told at the time to be careful because things might go wrong, and they did.
So, guys, when you're going to go above the go to 123.1, so-and-so, reporting in.
Es muy importante, de la clave.
The circle has to be perfect.
Body here, and then I have a moment of prayer, okay? Padre nuestro que estás en los cielos, santificado sea tu nombre, venga a nosotros tu reino, hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo, danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día, perdona nuestras ofensas, como también nosotros perdonamos a los que nos ofenden, y no nos dejes caer en la tentación, mas líbranos del mal. Amén. Padre Celestial, una vez más, estén aquí presentes, dispuestas de ayudar al prójimo, Señor. Ahora, Padre, nos quedamos en tus manos, dirige todo lo que se vaya a hacer. Señor, te seguimos clamando por la libertad del pueblo cubano. Estamos en los últimos días, estamos al final del túnel, Señor, y todos estamos clamando del grupo, toda esta gente linda, Señor, que se hizo presente a este llamado hace 3 años, Padre Celestial. Sigue dirigiendo a la directiva de Hermanos a Rescate, sigue dirigiéndonos siempre, Señor, para que en el nombre de Jesús, amén y amén. Amén. Ok.
Okay, gente, buena suerte.
Suerte.
Un poquito, acelere,
Déjame al baño.
una segunda, tercera.
Start to fall apart, and the idea behind the vest was that we can give them something until the Coast Guard can get there. A lot of them don't get immediate response. They might have to wait 4 or 5 hours, maybe the next day before they get rescued. So we're trying to give them survival equipment such as vests. Some of these are just regular smoke bombs, that you would find on a boat or an aircraft as part of your survival equipment, but give them a little extra buoyancy with the empty bottle, and also it's a little easier to see. And we give them instructions to hold on to it until they see an airplane or another cutter come by. At that time, hopefully they'll light it up, and it really makes a nice signaling device for them. We also have flares that we use. Some of these are wrapped up in. The flares are basically for night, and the smoke is for daytime. This is a combination of water. I'm not going to use those. Beep, beep.
voice is insisting that he wants Maine.
Afterwards, there was a group of 5 rafts. They were your typical classic rafts, you know, with the inner tubes and the rope and the woods, you know, surrounding it. And in the center of it was one guy on a surfboard. You know, anything that floats, they'll take it out. Anything that floats. Let's talk about the door. Tell me about the door. Sure. There was one guy. He was so desperate. Of course, the materials are very scarce in Cuba. That the only wood he could find was his front door. So he, you know, got his front door, attached a couple inner tubes to it. Off he went. He made it, fortunately. He was able to tell us the story. But that's how desperate they are. That's the desperation that's there. People really have to understand they can't. They try to do something about it. They're going to get themselves beaten up, put in jail. They're going to lose their jobs. And this is a government that was trained by the KGB. Okay? Their secret service, their CIA version is the equivalent of the Israelis, which is right now probably one of the best intelligence sources in the world.
Okay, that's good enough. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Then the last day the cruiser picked up a group of 13. That was my vacation.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Well, at least you could talk to him a little bit.
Yeah, I got to be one of them.
Get by with it.
That was a nice little shower. balsero, a ver si copian hermanos al rescate. Bajito, habla bajito, que si tienes un problema de urgencia, pero me hablas bajito, por favor. Oye, mira hermano, estás apretando un botón azul sin querer, perdona, un botón naranja. No aprieten el botón naranja, no aprieten el botón naranja. Háblame con el botón que es más grandecito, háblame con el botón que es más grandecito y no griten.